Kansas City Chiefs
Yeah.
apparently are the luckiest team on earth, and all the refs
It's all the
are
refs, man.
all the refs doing, and it's a scripted, and
Yep.
we got the Angels in the outfield coming in and flying and moving goalposts and everything else.
Exactly. Divine intervention, man. Jesus Christ walks across Arrowhead every day of the week. Walks on water, walks on Arrowhead.
You have everybody still can't believe they're the 14-1, but yet Josh Allen and Buffalo Bills are the best thing since sliced bread. Welcome to the banter, Dave. It's Hobbsy. Christmas edition.
Yes, indeed.
1 year anniversary also.
Yes, indeed. It's crazy. Already a year.
The banter with Dave and Hobbs. It's crazy, man. It's been a crazy year. It's been a busy year for the both of us.
Jesus.
Not what we've wanted, but I guess busy is good.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Kids and everything else, man. But how is the family excited for Christmas holidays?
Oh yeah. The kids are they get the best of both worlds. They get Nana's on Nana. Well, I guess three Nanas.
Oh.
Yeah, so they get it pretty good. Pawpaws, 3 pawpaws. So, they're cleaning house everywhere. So I think they're pretty excited about it. They go to church. They're good kids, so they understand the whole point of it all. But they also enjoy the perks of it all, and they get in the Christmas spirit pretty good. So they're all pretty amped up. They're and then on their dad's side, there's a new baby cousin joined the party about a month and a half ago. So they got to meet him for the first time earlier today. So they were pretty giddy about that. So yeah, I'd say everybody's in the Christmas spirit except me.
Well, you know what, man? I'll tell you what. The Christmas holiday brings out a lot of emotions in a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that too, because man, I've done something that I never thought I would do, but it was because it was for the little guy.
Mm-hmm.
I went to go and talk to a counselor about, he goes and sees a counselor to help deal with his ADHD.
Yeah.
And, and talk about feelings and how to express feelings and do all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow I got brought into it. And it's crazy how much we suppress as people.
No doubt about that.
And why I don't care for Christmas Day itself more than anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
And how rooted it can be. Mm-hmm. And I think we forget that during the holidays that a lot of people, not just me and you, and a lot of people out there that have a hard time dealing with the holidays due to, losing loved ones or, just what's happened to them in the past and all that stuff, man. And it's, it's hard to see, but it was a good session.
Good.
Talking to him, you and I are probably one and the same. We're, I guess you consider grumpy old men who don't like to express how they feel on the inside.
That's valid.
But it's hard when you need to, how would you say, more of so be a leader and show that it is okay.
Right.
To express your feelings.
Yeah, sure.
Like we've always said, it's hard for men, and I think men hold a lot in.
Yeah.
Definitely. As far as feelings and what their what's the right word to say? They just hold in a lot. We try to make sure everything is okay.
Yeah.
Everything is all right with everybody else, but we don't take time to look in the mirror, look at ourselves, and say, "Are we okay?"
Yeah, we suppress it really well.
We do.
Yep.
And man, it's that old adage of you're a man, don't show emotions is a sign of weakness.
Right.
And, we put a lot on our shoulders as men. And I think sometimes we forget that it can affect the ones around us and in lots of different ways. And, and you have to lead by example. And I think that was more of an eye opener for me
Right.
today, was being able to let the boy know it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay to have feelings. It's okay to talk about your feelings. It's okay to show feelings when, more than half my life it's been suppressed. It's tucked in deep down, and it feeds you. You have your good days and your bad days, but it's that fire underneath you.
Yep.
But sometimes that fire can explode.
Yep. You gotta say the
Sometimes that
boilovers are biblical when they happen.
it can fizz out, but that fire's still there. You still got those timbers that are lit.
Oh yeah.
So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
but man, other than that, man, we started tonight. It was funny because I know we talked about it. I was supposed to take the family to go enjoy because I don't think as a whole, like just us four, my wife, my two kids, we get to enjoy just a holiday dinner by ourselves.
Right. Oh yeah, I know
So,
how that goes.
I was going to go take them to get barbecue at the place we usually go to, and crossed my mind because you get caught up in the holidays. I've forgotten that it is closed on Mondays.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
we had a veer away, and we ended up going to eat at the original Jazz's restaurant.
Nothing wrong with
And we
that.
got us a little Cajun food instead.
Nothing wrong with that.
The wife was extremely happy because she loves that place.
Yep.
The boy absolutely loves it too. He likes to get him a big shrimp po' boy, and just tearing into it. And then I'm always, it doesn't matter what I get, so It's all good. So, man, it was nice to sit down with my kids and my wife just before it all turns into chaos tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Before the nuts go crazy.
Oh man, I'm telling you, man, it's all that, man. But man, what's it like over there, man? What's it?
It's crazy. Ashley and I, like, man, because Carly's wrestling, then Braden's wrestling, and then just nonstop everything in between. It's hard to get Christmas shopping done and stuff, and we made a bad mistake and waited till yesterday to finish up, and it was like I just
online shopping.
Yeah, we did
Is the
that too,
best
but
thing
there was
ever created for anybody.
Oh yeah, there was just some things we needed to get that weren't going to work out online, unfortunately.
Man,
so it was psycho. Yesterday I was about on the edge. We just got back from Sedalia. We had Katy Trail, so we got back. Had to go get the dogs from Grandma's house. Got back home. The plan originally was just chill out yesterday, and then everything's like, oh shit, we got to do this, and this, and then it's been kind of crazy. Wrestling's in full gear. That first rush is there till Christmas, which we're at now, Christmas break, and then like we got all that out. Now we got 2 weeks off, and then they get going at it again. So that's been.
Is it just? I know the young lady was in middle school. Is the middle school season over?
Yes, it is. She.
So that takes a little bit of light off of it.
Yeah, a little bit. That slowed it down a little. But we've had Braden has been battling, learning a little bit about himself and how much weight we can cut and how much weight we can't cut.
Ooh.
And now we're in how much muscle doesn't like to get cut once we build it, and where our body fat percentages are really okay. And when we start getting into the reason they check body fat percentages and how they make us feel, and how we get sickly and weak real fast, and then we don't know our bodies as well as we think we do.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not going to listen to the fat old man when he warns me. I'm going to, I'm going to kind of do it my way. I'm going to listen to my coaches, but in the still kind of not be listening to my coaches kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had a twisted knee. We've had a weight battle. We're making weights, but we were trying to be, he's at 120, was trying to stay down there, and it's just not how it's supposed to be for as much weight that he'd put on.
Yeah.
It was affecting him. So he's came out the gate a little rougher than he hoped.
Yeah.
I know it's been kind of hard on him because, going into his junior year, had some pretty high standards set for himself, and it's early in the season, so it's been a little rough. He got to Katie Trielli wrestled at 126. Is the first time he wrestled in a tournament at 126. He got seventh. He lost a couple matches where he shouldn't have. Honestly, I mean, his coaches will tell you the same thing, and it's just it's just finding his way back. He's cut that muscle off. Now he's back to the weight he was, but he's lost the strength. So he's got to get the strength back and understand his body and start figuring out that you have to feed that just as much as you cut that, or you're going to be in an awkward situation. So he's working through that. So wrestling's going. Man, and just work is work. I wish I could sit here and say I have a job I love, but I'm lying there. So
well, man, that makes it rough.
Yeah. So
I always, don't get me wrong. I sometimes I feel fortunate, and I feel very fortunate, but at the same time, it's like it could drive you nuts.
Yes.
And then I hate it.
Oh yeah.
And then
I deeply miss beards and bats.
Hey man, sometimes you just gotta say fuck it and follow that heart.
Yeah.
And get back in it. But well, this it has been how has young lady first year wrestling, right?
Yep. Never done a quarter life.
How did she like it?
She did like it. Then she hated it when she had to get up in the morning and go. Then she liked it again. Then she hated it again. Then she liked it again. She's learning. Obviously it's a process.
Yeah.
From what I can see, it appears that she listened well. She had a good coach.
That's good.
She's also got Big Brother and Big Brother's coaches. So she's got a pretty good support cast there. And, Pawpaw's been around wrestling for probably since wrestling was invented.
Yeah.
So not that long, but just had to take a hack there. But they've all been around it. She's got a good support system. She liked it. I would if I was a betting man. If I was a betting man, go figure. That's kind of funny. I'd say she. I'm gonna guess she does it again next year. I think she liked it enough. She learned some stuff too. She won some matches, but it's funny, as mean as she can get and be such a little asshole.
She's pretty soft.
Yeah. Oh no, when you're on the wrestling match, she's best friends with everybody she wrestles. So me and Papa would be sitting there and trying to get her hyped up, or trying to get her to hate the girl across from her for five. Yeah, for a good solid 3 minutes. All you gotta do is hate her. And now we were knowing names and what we did out when we weren't at school and doing each other's hair and hugging afterwards and shit. So it was funny to see that. So at some point I think she might have to transition into I like you after we wrestle, but not during when we wrestle. And it'll help. But yeah, she did. I think she'll stick to it. It was fun to watch. It was pretty entertaining.
Well, we had a wrestler in this household.
Oh yeah,
and it was a very rough season.
I get it.
And when I mean rough, I mean he never won a match.
I get it.
I do. he was extremely frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
It was another learning curve for him, but I said, this is where you'll find out what you're personally made of.
Exactly. Absolutely.
I said, it's different when you're playing a team sport football.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, hey, you did your assignment, you made the block or you made the tackle, but the quarterback missed the wide open receiver, or the D-back, left the receiver wide open, missed his assignment. It cost you the game.
Right.
On the baseball field, your pitcher walked 3 batters and end up walking fourth to walk the 2 runs in.
Right.
It's on them. It's not on you. But when you're on that mat, then there's nobody else.
Yep.
But you and that one other person.
Yep.
He sat there and he learned the hard way.
Yeah.
I also think it's very humbling.
Absolutely.
Because it will humble you with the quickness, especially when you're feeling cocky, coming off a football season where you just lose one game.
Yep.
You got quite a bit of playing time. You were a starter, or all that stuff, or you got a lot of playing time, and you're off that high, and then it's all of a sudden, boom, and try to explain to them it's a different beast.
And it's funny. If I've learned anything, with watching Braden wrestle and all of my buddies that wrestled and everything, it's sometimes my buddies were the bigger bear, and a lot of times, they find out there's always a bigger bear.
Yep.
And it's funny how much in competition at tournaments with the amount of different, schools and weight classes and stuff, you can find a lot of big bears real fast. And it definitely does. You see it every day. It like with every tournament, every time they're out on the mat, and you see the humbling happen. Like you see the challenges, and you see how they take it and stuff, and you also see them there. I think too, the mental toughness that goes with that is probably far beyond to me. Like I believe it's probably it's a different level for how you have to be mentally tough as a wrestler with all the highs and lows you face. Because like I said, you're on a team, but you're out on that mountain by yourself a lot more than you are anywhere else. And the only thing I always think of, and this has been just observations over the last couple of years watching Braden and like watching some of the guys, his teammates and stuff, is the only other sport I can positions I can compare to being a wrestler would be I feel like if you're a quarterback or you're a pitcher. It's and I think that's why wrestlers as a whole are just mentally tougher athletes than pretty much every athlete when they wrestle. And I think that's when you hear people say, you should wrestle, or or when you meet a wrestler or understand that, it's because teammates in football, when they blame it on the quarterback, it's easy. You have your whole team, like you saying. In baseball, you've got the rest of the team, but if you don't pitch and you're out on that island and shit goes south, when you're on the bump, it's quicksand fast. If you're the quarterback and shit goes south, no matter who does anything, it's on you. You're going to get the finger pointed at you. And in wrestling, you're there. That it is you. Yeah. There's no you're singled out every time you walk out on the mat. There's no one else. You can't hide behind your team, and you're a part of a team, but individually you get the total understanding of what it's like to be that guy or that girl. And I just think it builds the mental toughness builds and the life lessons I think they take from it are very, very positive. I mean, I think the highs and lows of wrestling, it seems like, I don't think I've ever seen anything where I've seen so many highs and so many lows within the matter of literally 2 hours. 3 minutes, man, or 6 minutes. And that can, your whole day, 6 minutes can change the whole thing. And you can be on that mountaintop and rolling, fall down wrong, trip up wrong, turn one way wrong. And your whole day just changed. Just like that.
It's, I'm interested to see, and I think I don't think he's happy, and I think he's driven enough that he's not going to let it discourage him, and he'll go back and try to do it again next year.
Fly that fire, man. He's a competitive little guy.
Yeah, it's like you know, I think when it's said and done, he'll go back to it. Hopefully he'll, say, I can do this,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
go get him a win next year.
Yeah.
So, I've heard a lot of guys I've known that wrestled that their first 2 years, they couldn't win a match to save their lives. And then when it clicked, off they took.
Right.
So,
Man, you see state champions every year. Of course you see those kids that are absolute hammers that don't lose a match. You see kids that lose 1 and 2 matches, and when they do,
yeah,
it's to a higher class,
yeah,
same weight division, higher class state champion.
yeah,
It sometimes you see, a dude from Nebraska comes down here, or God forbid you run into some northern boys up there that come down here. I mean, it's just a different level up there, and you might
well,
get thumped. And then all of a sudden you see a state champion loses, 12 matches
well,
and
it is
gets on a
funny
roll.
because you talk about how your boy is wrestling at 120, and he's a junior in high school. And yet, my boy, he weighed in at 117, so he was caught in between that, 115, 120 range.
Mhm.
And it's like, it's funny to hear that.
Right?
And
Yeah.
in middle school, oddly to me, that 120 is a common weight. So
Yeah.
you got everybody who's in the world
Yeah.
who wrestled since they were 5 years old to people who just picking it up,
Right.
who are used to it at that age and that weight. Other than when you see kids that were, weighing in at 98 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
and it's about, let's see what twig can turn around and
Right? Yeah, exactly. It's kind of a crazy that, like, it's, when you get in high school and, like, everybody on earth it weighs literally from 144 to 172. Pick your
yeah,
poison. Like, there they all
yeah,
are.
yeah.
And then
But
you get into
I,
190, you just see nothing but dudes.
uh, I think he is, he's learned. I think he's finding out he's got to find toughness in
Mm-hmm.
it and go from there. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to see a lot of his matches due to the way middle school schedules their stuff,
It's
and it
crazy.
sucked.
It's crazy.
I did get to go to the tournament, which I can't do.
It's funny, that tournament you were at, Braden was at.
Really?
Yep. Yep. His it's his cousin. I think it's his cousin. I'm not. I can never keep track. He's got 18,000 cousins, so I'm pretty sure it's the cousin. But he's a middle schooler for Liberty North.
Yep, they were out there.
So Braden said he went to Blue Spring, or was going to go to Blue Springs, and I said, well, you probably see Dave out there, and I was like, well, then you might not, because it's goddamn busy.
Yeah.
I'm like, it'd be a zoo there, so.
Well, it was very much a zoo. Of course, there was hardly any place to sit.
Yep.
Luckily, his mat assignment was right in front of the door where the concession stand entrance was. So I pretty much sat there
Yep.
at one of the concession tables until he got up to wrestle. Then I'd just take a couple steps
Yep.
and then watch him. When he was done, I'd just turn around and
Right back to it. Amen to that.
But those are mentally draining days.
Man, they're nuts. They're tough.
I mean, he had to have them. He had to be there by 8:00. Lucky enough that we only live 5 minutes from the high school, so he was able to sleep in. Not like baseball season where
right. Up and at 'em.
you gotta wake up like it's 5:30 a.m. We gotta hit the road.
Yeah.
But all right, man, it's 7:30, time to get up. We gotta get down the road.
Right.
But man, it was a humbling experience for him. I hope he learned from it and carried on. He's, now a couple weeks, man, baseball starts up for him, and
Get close.
all that good stuff. So he's sticking with his working out plans. He's doing it all. You try to get him to understand the eating routine and all that stuff too. So one day he can hardly eat. Next day he wants to eat everything in the fucking house.
Oh, I understand how that. I got
Oh my God.
got a boy child here that's like that.
Oh. Man, it's like I'm hungry.
Yep.
Hungry. Somebody, man, you need to eat.
Yep.
You need to eat something. Oh, I'm not all that hungry. I'll just have a salad. I'm like, man, put some chicken on that salad or something.
You be back in here. You be back in here in 2 minutes. Man, I'm still kind of hungry, I think.
Yeah. But, man, NFL football season.
Crazy.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Apparently are the luckiest team on earth, and all the refs are.
It's all the refs, man.
All the refs doing, and it's a scripted, and we got the angels in the outfield coming in and flying and moving goalposts and everything else.
Exactly. Divine intervention, man. Jesus Christ walks across Arrowhead every day of the week. Walks on water, walks on Arrowhead.
You have everybody still can't believe they're the 14-1, but yet Josh Allen and Buffalo Bills are the best thing since sliced bread.
Then barely beat the New England Patriots, which are the worst fucking team ever. Right now.
But it is coming down to the nitty gritty.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Your Lions are hurting on defense.
Hurting in general, man.
I'd say, I guess you say my other team, the Bucks. They should have lost to Dallas.
Yeah, last night was bad.
They're hurting in the secondary. They're missing that that wide receiver 2.
Yep.
But
I'm telling you, man, Bucky Irvin, they don't get behind last night. They could have just you just keep feeding Bucky and their money. Bucky gets the ball, they win. And they just phased Kate Otten out.
Yeah.
Evans not go with what you got. Feed Bucky Irvin and you can just see it's just
Mike Evans is an absolute just
timeless.
He is a silent assassin.
Timeless. Just
it's
dependable as it gets.
People sit there and talk about all the big names around the league, but then people forget about Mike Evans.
Right. I read the other day too. I was reading some sports. I don't even remember what it was in. Some online, and they had a list of on the cusp Hall of Fame wide receivers. And he was on the cusp. I'm like, no, he's in. I don't see how anybody I can't understand it. Just I just don't get it. I feel like he's in.
And
the dude is the poster of consistency.
He does everything right.
Absolutely, he's a touchdown machine.
He just does everything right.
Yards and touchdowns.
I think it's because he's not flashy.
Yeah, no, he just does the job.
He's not outspoken. He's not outspoken too much in the media.
Yeah.
He's praised by his teammates. He's praised by
all his teammates love him.
God, and I tell you what, who surprised me the most, it's rejuvenated his career down there, is Baker Mayfield.
I think this is the Baker Mayfield everybody knew was in there.
That was in there.
His thing was, I just feel like he had to grow up.
He did.
I feel like Baker Mayfield just wanted to be an asshole for a long time.
I think he wanted to have that chip he had at OU.
Yeah, and it was dude, it's okay. You can be
when he
the
went
dude.
To Cleveland, he got knocked off the shoulder real quick.
Yeah, and I think it humbled him a little bit.
I
think he got served with humble pie, and then he came back, and I think he kind of realized maybe just be the ultimate teammate and the dude that you can just see when you watch him loves the game of football.
Oh yeah,
just play the game. Do you That's the Baker Mayfield that was in college. That's the Baker Mayfield you see now.
Pretty much.
It's good to see him get that shit figured out. And it's good to see an organization see that and respect what it is and roll with it.
Yeah. I think their defense, secondary, did need help. I think they need an edge rusher.
It would help.
You know,
a lot of work on Vita Vea.
No.
And
Did you see that hit he put on?
He mashed that dude. Ferguson about died. And Levante David's been, another Hall of Famer.
He is, to me, what Derek Brooks was to the team. Just
he's awesome.
Comes in, absolute fucking workhorse, does his job, lays people out.
Exactly. Tristan Wirfs, best lineman in football, one of the best linemen in football.
Badass linebacker.
Yep.
That it's like, good Lord.
It's hard not to like them. Like they're a likable team. Like there's a lot of guys on that team that you're like
they're Detroit Tigers or Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
Detroit, like, how can you not love the coach?
Yeah.
I mean, the quarterback's just everybody's loving him.
Man, dude, and Goff's another one of those guys. I don't care what anybody like. They can say all this shit about Jared Goff and just dog it, water him all day. Just all about how terrible he is. I'm like, terrible, or you can call him terrible or not. Just look at the stats and look at the wins. The dude just produces. The guy threw 5 picks against the Texans and won.
Yeah,
it's like, he's had countless games that their trick play yesterday where he acted like he fell down. My God! And Jamar Gibbs, dude. Ben Johnson's a genius. I'm gonna hate to see him go coach somebody somewhere else.
The Fobarooski was
but full man, that was I mean there's a lot of teams.
Play. I saw the highlights. You know what I love about it?
What's that?
That they both sold it.
Oh yeah, money. Perfect. My favorite thing too is they get the fat lineman involved. Every offensive lineman on that team might be going out he might be an eligible receiver. They get goal line, you just don't know. I love it. And they got the sick. I don't care what anybody says. I'll argue with anybody. NFL football, as far as jerseys go, they have the sickest jerseys in the NFL, all the way across the board.
I will tell you
unstoppable.
Last week when they wore the All Blacks,
Thanksgiving.
The
All Blacks are sick.
Well, no, they were.
No, it was the weekend before or last weekend. Yeah. The Bills weekend.
Now they were on TV.
Yep, Bills weekend.
Yep, watch the Bills and then play.
Mm-hmm.
And even my wife sat there. She goes, "Give me uniforms slick."
Yeah, they're nasty.
Them All Blacks. I tell you what, you know who I think came in second place?
Who's that?
The Minnesota Vikings all whites were pretty damn.
Those were clean. Yeah, they were nasty. Those were. When I turned that game on, I'm like, I got to see what these jerseys look like. Because I had just seen something on my phone about it, and I turned it on and I went, ooh.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, them are pretty. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Chiefs. I've told some people. I said, this was the same talk that was happening last year.
And that's the thing. Like, the media is going to write this narrative every year.
Look who's starting to come back healthy.
Exactly. It's all. Yep, it's all shaping up as it should, as it was.
Right. Now you have dual threats in the backfield. One that can ground and pound, the other one who can block and fall out, and the other when he runs, he can get going. The receiving core is getting a little healthy.
Hollywood was averaging 14.2 yards a catch in his 4 or 5 targets. So,
and I said, could you only imagine if somehow, some way, Rashee Rice was able to come back and you had that receiving core, out there. Then you have Noah Gray, who's been playing good.
Yeah,
I think you're going to get. Everybody's been down on the man, but hey, remember last year, playoff Kelsey was a different beast.
I truly think that's the exact same thing that we're going to get. Like, there are players that no matter what, they can have the worst year ever, and he hasn't scored a lot of touchdowns, but like he's still got some solid stats as a tight end.
Yeah,
he's still top 10 in most things, tight end, not touchdowns, but it is what it is. But, you look at some of the greats of all time and stuff, when the playoffs happen is when they happen. Like, that switch clicks and
I think that to the point is we got to start just jacking around with people to think we're not on the same page.
Yeah.
Just so when they least expect it, we just turn it on and here we go.
Yep. And it's, and they're just, Hollywood Brown being back is huge. That chemistry will get going. DeAndre Hopkins has been huge for first downs and shit.
You have, 2 weeks?
Solid.
For him to get going.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I said I was hoping that when you look at it, I thought New England was going to pull the upset of upsets.
That'd have been awesome.
Hold on, they go to New England the last game of the year.
Yeah.
And I go, if they would have lost, I said I would have played. Pat Pittsburgh. And they gave him the last week off, and they gave him two extra weeks to heal that ankle.
Yeah. No,
you already got it locked up. You got it secured, number 1 seed. But
I want them to win Wednesday. Lock it up then, because it's done.
Yeah.
Just beat the Steelers, go beat the Texans, then beat the Steelers, go back to back, say, look, all right, here we go. Maybe not it'll be a close scoring game again, but it's like, all right, we just beat the AFC South champions.
Yeah.
We just beat the team playing. We just pretty much knocked the AFC North, could have been champions, down.
Yep.
And now we're going to sit everybody just so we can tell the Bengals to fuck off. Because Denver's going to, and if they win both their games and Denver's got to lose that last week, and the Bengals still have to beat, for everything to work out, the Bengals would have to beat Pittsburgh.
Yep.
I think that last week, and that leaves literally that Denver Chiefs game. I would set our entire fucking team and say, you know what, Bengals, we don't forget. Here's all that, those, keep receipts. Here they all are. Fuck you.
Well, I would go unless the only reason why I would play a starter was if he needed a couple yards.
Yep.
Or
get something in there, get a bonus.
That 1 tackle to get that bonus.
Yep.
Then pull them off.
Exactly.
You know what? Go ahead and go to the locker room. Go get your sweatsuit on. You're done.
And I truthfully think, I'm not going to say the NFL's rigged, and, but I will say this, you can't, there's no way, I truly believe this, if the Lions beat the Bills that day, and the Steelers lost the Eagles, if both those things happened and the Chiefs won, this would have been done.
Yeah.
So then you have your very first NFL on Netflix on Christmas with absolutely no reason to watch.
Yeah.
Whatsoever, because why in God's name would the Chiefs have to play anybody?
Yeah, I agree.
You could have set them all. So, the Bills are awesome, and the Lions straight up lost that game. But at the same time, now just look at the situation. You can't have them lose. Like, the Patriots can't win that game.
No,
there's no drama. Then it's over again. But now you got something to watch. How fucking mad would Netflix have been if their first NFL football game ever on Christmas Day is 2 of the most storied franchises in football, and one of them has nothing to play for, and Patrick Mahomes does not play on Netflix?
Oh yeah,
they'd have lost their shit. There's no way. There was no way in any scenario that was going to happen. And I sit there and I'm like, it's not possible. No matter what, somebody's losing somewhere. This has to have some kind of playoff feel, and it has to have some kind of something writing on it for Netflix and all that big money. That big it's part of it. It's just the sport.
It is.
It's media first, but it's the best drama in the world. We all tune in to watch it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want to see the Chiefs get this shit over with and just roll in. I think the greatest thing that ever happened was Omenihu coming back and Joe Tunney moving to left tackle.
I'll tell you what, man. They still need the D backs, the defensive backs.
They're
To
rough
need,
there. That
they're rough.
one side's a little rough, but I think what's helping them now is having a Minihue back. They're getting some pressure on the quarterbacks, getting Karlaftis to it a little bit more.
I said it when he was drafted.
Yep,
That kid is a sleeper. He is. I said it when I was talking to a family member watching the game. I said Karlaftis and Jones give me that Neil Smith, Derek Thomas vibes. Now I'm not saying, but don't get me wrong. Like Derek Thomas, rest in peace, rest in heaven. If anything would have happened to him, you would not be talking about Lawrence Taylor as much if Derek Thomas
stayed alive. Yeah, you ain't lying.
You would have been hearing more DT than LT.
Yep.
Now, they give me that vibe a lot. And
they do.
I think I wish he was just a split more second quicker off the ball to get there. Because a lot of times you're like, he'll.
Yep, he's just off a little bit.
I think Creed Humphrey is becoming probably one of the best centers in the game.
Well, he got paid big.
He got paid, and I think he's earning every bit of it. The kid that's the one person on the line. And Tootie is just that is earning his paycheck, and the guy is putting himself heads above a lot of centers in the league.
Oh yeah, and you look and you think of Joe Tooney, dude. It's like if you look at that when we gave him all that money, everyone's like, I mean, he's just a left guard. He's not just a left guard. He is you're seeing what he is now.
Yeah.
And if you can kick out that and your assignments have been Myles Garrett,
yeah,
Will Anderson, and Danielle Hunter that's your first assignments.
Yeah.
And you're literally last week didn't allow a sack.
Yeah.
Against two of the best pass rushers in the NFL. I mean,
yeah.
To be able to do that. And then you got Trey Smith when it comes to running the ball.
Yeah.
You want to run that ball, just get behind Big Trey Smith and just get if you're standing on your feet, as sure as time will tell, as long as he's on your feet and them feet are turning, wait till that big son bitch comes into the back of you. You're gonna get them extra 3 yards because he's gonna push you for it.
I tell you what, I am a huge. I've always said I'm a huge Mike Tomlin fan. I also root for. I love seeing the Pittsburgh Steelers win. I always have.
My brother's favorite team.
I think now that I've watched the last few games with them, and I'm like, they don't scare me as much as they were.
Mm-hmm.
I think, they're sitting there, and Russell Wilson is starting to become what you say of Russell Wilson, anything like that.
This sounds crazy. I think that team is more dangerous when old Justin is playing quarterback.
I do too.
Like, I truly believe the dynamic playmaker that he is, long down the road, you're gonna get turnovers, but Russ is showing you're gonna get turnovers there too.
Yeah.
I truly think that.
I think he just hasn't been groomed, and I think he's being.
Exactly.
I think they got him in the right situation, under the right head coach, under the right quarterback to teach him.
Yeah.
To groom him. I've said it, and I will say it now. I think Caleb Williams has turned out everything we talked about this before. It's the same shit show as it was with Justin Fields there.
Yeah. Chicago. It's not the quarterbacks. It's not the talent of the quarterbacks. It's the coaching, and it's the ownership, and it's the decisions being made.
Yeah.
In there in Chicago, Caleb Williams, if you watch him, he takes too many sacks. He runs for his life because he gets hit every time he has the ball. He's learning to read the NFL defenses, which is complicated, obviously, but the talent's there, man. He does some crazy shit. Like, the skill level is absolutely insane. Some of the stuff he does, like some of the throws he makes are just like Mahomes. Like, he does some shit that you're like, wow. Yeah. But when you got maybe not as good, but but when you got, it's great. You got Rome Odunze, you got Keenan Allen, you went and got, what's his butt from Carolina, DJ Moore, you got Cole Kmet, you got talent everywhere. You can't. I don't give a shit what kind of talent you surround him when you got a dipshit offensive coordinator and a dipshit offensive coach. What good's it going to do? You need to get, and where they fucked up. Washington's showing you where they fucked up. Look at Kingsbury coaching Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
How you don't make that hire for Caleb Williams so he has what he had in college is beyond me. Like, it doesn't make no sense. Like, it just...
Well, man, I tell you what, I've noticed, because it was the throw that Joe Burrow made.
Yeah.
But I saw that throw and I said, I tell you what, if Patrick Mahomes had not been doing Patrick Mahomes-like things and stuff like that, I don't think we'd ever really see quarterbacks even trying to attempt.
No, hell no. They would just fall down.
Like he's trying to make, Josh Allen's trying to make those throws. You see trying to see people do the shuffle, no look passes now. The guy is like, to me, it's like Steph Curry changed the league in the NBA.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to shoot 3 balls now because of Steph Curry.
Yeah.
The quarterbacks now want to roll out and do the no-look passes and shit like that because Patrick Mahomes can do it. I think I can too.
And look, like, I look at the quarterback situation, and like everyone right now is spoiled. We have, some would say 5, some say 4, like quarterbacks that are just above and beyond everything else. I look at it like this. To me, Allen and Mahomes are here.
Yeah.
Like, and when I say that, I don't say Allen in front of Mahomes. I mean that Allen is as talented as Mahomes, but Allen does not win like Mahomes until he wins. And you can, some will make the argument like they did with Brady and Manning that once you won a ring, they were on the same thing. Well, no, that ain't enough for me. Like,
no,
that ain't enough for me until you have multiple MVPs of the Super Bowl, multiple NFL MVPs, and multiple, Lombardis. I mean, you're here. He's here.
Yeah.
And then you got, Burrow. Right now, Burrow reminds me a lot of Dan Marino. The flair's there. The arrogance is there. Everything looks good. Everything, he's the pretty boy. He's got everything. Can light up the fucking stats. Where's your ring, guy? Where you at?
They got a team that talks a lot of shit, but
a lot of shit for never doing anything, for losing the one Super Bowl they went to, and to the fucking Rams of all people.
You have the tiers of quarterback play right now, and what we have coming up. And I mean, you look at Jaden Daniels. I mean, what kid? I mean, at Texas for the Texans. CJ Stroud is unbelievable. The stuff he was doing.
Yeah.
He is a mixture of a little bit of Lamar, a little bit of Patrick, a little bit of Josh.
CJ Stroud reminds me of young Russ.
Yes.
Like when Russ actually cooked.
Yes.
That's who he reminds me of.
You have just, I mean, you can't go, I still say, we have Justin, Herbert out there in, Los Angeles. I was getting ready to say San Diego.
Well, when I said 5, I was Allen, or say Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar, and then that 5 to me is Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
A couple years, he got hurt a little bit, so it was easy to forget what he was doing before the injury the last couple seasons. Herbert's a freak, man. Like,
you don't throw picks. In Jalen Daniels, you look at what's coming in CJ Stroud. And my God, I'll even say, you look at what's coming with Bo Nix.
The good news is Bo Nix 35 already, so
yeah,
he should be developed.
It's the NFL's like we talked before. The NFL is going to be in good hands.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of it. There's some exciting highlight scary players that do some crazy things.
Which leads me from talking about NFL and the playoffs coming up. Let's flip it to the college playoffs. What is your take? What is your thoughts on what is happening? What the arguments are? What the arguments will be? I'm sick and tired of hearing all the SEC bias. Oh well, Alabama should be there. Oh well, South Carolina should be in the mix. Oh, Ole Miss should still be in the mix. I am a firm believer. You open up to 12 for things like the teams what we saw.
Yeah.
When it's said and done, and what happened, and here's where I look at it and say, this is where we messed up. The SEC is always going to be a strong football conference, top to bottom. I mean, goddamn, look at even Vanderbilt. They were ranked at one point in time.
Funny you say that.
Vanderbilt's never been, he's always been kind of the barrel, bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
Now they're building a program. You add Texas. You add Oklahoma, which I think Oklahoma will start. They'll get
there.
They'll be men. They're not going to be the Oklahoma what they were in the Big 8 and the Big 12. But I think what happened is you started adding all these schools. You built these conferences, these super conferences. Is what happened is the greed. Mm-hmm. The greed of the athletic directors, the greed of the commissioners of the conference.
Yeah.
It's hard to say when all the good schools are ripped from the ACC. All the good schools were stripped from the Pac-12, and you mix them in, and then unfortunately you have a school like Notre Dame who says we're still independent.
Yep, we're just gonna do us.
We're not gonna join the conference. We want our basketball program will, our baseball our teams will, every other sport will, but the football team itself is not gonna join the conference.
Right.
Now, I think it leaves the door open to teams like Indiana.
It does.
Now, this is my argument is Indiana played their schedule. They played who's in front of them. Mm-hmm. They didn't ask for, UCLA to come to or whoever it was. They didn't ask for USC to come to the Big Ten. They didn't ask for, Oregon to come to the Big Ten. So then you got to rejumble schedules. Okay, what if they lose by 2, a field goal playing in the shoe in Ohio State?
Yeah.
Will the argument be different?
Maybe. Probably not.
Gets in.
Yeah.
SMU is rebuilding a program that people has forgotten, other than older generation people have forgotten. That program was not existing at one time.
Right, yeah.
I think that program right there is what started all the NIL shit.
Oh, no.
They were paying for players.
Yes, indeed. There's no doubt about it.
You mean to tell me that they came back in the ACC championship game and took the lead to turn around and holy shit lose? So you're saying that they got to the championship game, and this argument always goes down to what happened when it was, you had the 4 teams. Who's that 5th team? Who's gonna jump?
Who's gonna be that team?
Yeah, I think you still have to leave it open. You can't just go by straight to schedule.
No.
If that's the case, then you just need to break up the SEC altogether.
And see, here's my short, easy remix take on the whole thing, and I'm sure you'll See exactly where I'm coming from, like my opinion on it. I feel like iron sharpens iron. And in the Big Ten and in the SEC, you have NFL 1 and NFL 2. You have the NIL that makes sure they're NFL 1 and NFL 2.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have the NFL 1 and NFL 2, and you take the teams on the outside of that with their schedules that aren't very good, or that they don't have very good schedules, it's hard to really sharpen iron when you're playing fucking rocks. So when you take those teams, I mean, yes, they need to, you got to open it up. The what if's always there. And I mean, I feel like time and time again, we've seen like the what ifs. I don't mean this bad to Boise State. Boise State might be the one that's actually kind of proved the haters wrong a couple times, but you look at how it goes most times, it just goes exactly how it's going now. Like, I mean, I don't mean this bad. Like, I know Tennessee's in there and stuff, but like,
well, they were.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch. I don't watch a lot of Ohio State football. I watched enough to know, how they are. I got Big Mike to run down everything else I need about them. And all the college football. Did anybody really like? Can you sit here and tell me anybody really expect Tennessee to go in there and have half a shot?
I think it was more because you have that SEC bias.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to get thumped.
Yeah.
It's always Big Ten or at somebody out of one of those two conferences. But yeah, now they're all in the same two conferences, like you said, because of greed and this and that. If you're going to do it, break it all up again, or if not, just this. I don't think the way this is. I like that they're doing the college playoff. I really do, because I like it that it gives somebody opportunities. And this argument that everyone can make a separate argument if a couple of the teams that you don't expect to win actually pull it off.
Well,
like if Boise State wins, or if Arizona State wins,
say Arizona State knocks out Texas.
Yeah, you're gonna. Then all of a sudden you're like,
say, Boise State beats whoever I forgot who they're playing. But it's like Alabama. Like they talk about strength of schedule and they go off because of what the SEC is. But you're also scheduling Western Kentucky, South Florida.
Yeah,
you had Wisconsin in there, but Wisconsin wasn't all that great.
No.
Mercer.
Yeah, you play turds.
Then you lose to Oklahoma team and get demolished. And then you lose to Vandy. Like, if there's something that reeks entitlement of what should be, is the University of Alabama.
Yeah, I thought after they lost to Oklahoma, I thought that made the case on its own. You had Vandy in there, and I'm like, there's no argument here at all. Like, there's literally not a single, no justification you can make to how they belong in.
The schedule when you're facing Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
Where's your strength? I mean, where's that? How does that build your schedule up?
Yeah, you're not playing. You're not playing the school that's that's. Yeah. Oh well, we played this guy and this guy. No, you didn't.
Instead of taking a mid-level Big Ten team in Wisconsin,
if
you're so good, why don't you go play Ohio State at the Shoe?
Yeah, go get you some Oregon,
or go up to Oregon.
Yeah, go play the Ducks at the Duck House.
Like you're so used, you were spoiled. When Chiefs fans say we're spoiled.
Yeah.
You're spoiled. They got spoiled all these years, and it absolutely irks me that fucking it never cared for him. When Saban was out there crying and moaning, and I'm like, you're not even the coach.
Alabama Jones. Did you see that yesterday or the other day?
Yeah.
That was funny. Oh, Alabama Jones.
I thought they got it right, even though I'm tired of hearing about the arguments. I'm hearing about, this is going to check. Well, no, all you're doing is hold a precedent. Like say, no, this is what we're sticking to.
Yeah, this is how we're going to do it.
That's how we do it. And then don't scream, oh, well, we can check. Well, we're not going to play our skit. What, you know what? Like I said, you want a early season game, man, you go play Ohio State at the shoe.
Yeah, go play somebody so that strength of schedule argument makes sense.
You know, Wisconsin's been a name for all these years. You know, that's like saying, okay, well, we're going to play Baylor because, you know, Baylor has a name to them in the Big 12.
Right.
No. Come on, man. Like,
yeah. Dude, right now, I'm not even college football, college sports in general right now, I'm just having a hard time with all of it. Like, I think you know where I'm going with all this.
Well, you heard about the
JUCO. That's where I'm going. Like, there are a couple. One, this is random out of the. I'm going to go into that, but randomly, I do think that what's going to happen if Mr. Patriot himself, Belichick.
Yeah.
I do think that North Carolina might be the very first college team that's ran like an NFL franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think it'll be, I don't like the man, but I do think it'll be very interesting to see how he builds that program out and how it is, if it is the first preview of what's to come with the NIL now being so much in the thing in the transfer portal, if they approach it that way and make it, if he makes a program that is like set up for how this is going to work, because I could see him being arrogant enough and having enough pull in places and smart enough to be able to make a program built for it.
He will want to do what Dion was trying to do in Colorado.
That's exactly.
And I think he will be a little more business savvy with it.
Yes, that's what I know. That's where I was going to go. I know Dion was trying to do what I think Belichick is able to do. But now to the JUCO thing.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see quarterbacks or pitchers, that have played their 2 years of JUCO, have for one reason or another, and I'll hit positives and negatives to this because I can find them. I can find a little bit of both, but I can't wait to see 29-year-old quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty excited about that, and I can't wait to see 35-year-old guys with eligibility hang them up finally. But what I worry about the most is I don't worry about it because I guess it's a double-edged sword. You'll have so many kids that go to JUCO. We talk about this a lot. Yes. Especially in baseball. Baseball particularly is where I feel like this is stronger. How many times have we talked about, or have you and me both personally known or seen JUCO kids that get drafted or are ready or at the talent level to go play at a D1 school and go on to a D1 school and then go on to independent league baseball, minor league baseball, and in a couple cases, Major League Baseball. We see it. It's a pretty common path.
Yeah,
it's not uncommon to see anymore. It used to be, oh man, that guy made it. No, now it's becoming more. Over the last decade, we've seen it a lot more. Yeah. Now, what do we do? What happens to these kids that are there for that reason?
Yeah,
go to that JUCO, and you have, say, a kid that can't make the grade at the big school, or is just enough of an asshole to have gotten his papers, his red card, his red tag at a D1 school. And so he needs to go back, like you see in football many a time, and go back somewhere else to get his shit together. And all of a sudden, that guy is taking that spot of that other kid. And he's getting his 2 years there. to know he's going right back to his 4-year university to the highest bidder.
Well,
so I kind of I like it and I hate it at the same time.
Here's my double-edged sword to it. I'm like you. I like it and I hate it if it's done properly.
Yes.
And I think there has to be a regulation on it.
Yes,
and the reason why
absolutely.
I say that, the reason why I say it is because I agree with it for the simple fact times are changing. Times change, things change. I'm always down on the NCAA how they do stuff. I think they have ruined amateur college athletics and how they try to run it.
Yeah.
They're very behind the times and they don't want to change. So I think it's funny when they did the picks on the college game day the other day, and the guy who was there for Notre Dame gave Saban shit about paying players, and Saban literally took that shit and he looked pissed because
he knew
it was true.
We run a clean program, and
I'm sorry, I don't buy it. I never have. I think what happened is the NIL started playing out, and people started going, "Oh, I can go to Georgia. Oh, I'm going to go to Ole Miss and get paid.
Yeah,
I'm going to go to Texas and get paid." Now, the JUCO thing, I think when you look at college degrees, a lot of college degrees almost take. I don't think it takes 4 years anymore.
Most of them don't seem to.
You're about 5-year plans.
Yeah.
I think you say, I'll give you 2, and I will give you 3. Now, I watch a lot of college football. I love college football till this time of the year comes around. And then now, as someone who was always hating and wanted a playoff system, now I'm kind of saying, let's go back to the old, just all bowl games. I had watched
Games.com bowl.
The NCAA national championship game had Hutch, community college playing. And I forgot who they were playing. And I watched that game. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of guys that can play D1. But at the JUCO level, there's a lot of guys that still need seasoning.
Hell yes, absolutely.
And you can see it in the play. Now, if after 1 year, say the kid wants to transfer out and go D1, I think the rule should be once the minute you transfer out and go D1, you're not allowed to go back to go JUCO.
Agreed. Exactly.
If you go, I think the rule should be is you go 1 year, you get 4. You go 2 years, you get 3. If you need to go to JUCO, it's not to go back to play sports. Go back to get your grades up, and then you can go back.
Yeah.
I don't think you should, because all you're doing is taking away from kids coming in.
Exactly.
I think it's smart for high school kids that have the capability to play, but in high school slacked off and decide, I'm gonna mess around with my grades. Go ahead and get that year. Find out what going to college classes is like. Find out what it's going to be like to keep a schedule and do all that stuff.
Yep.
Prepare yourself. Go play. Get your grades up. Do what you got to do to move on.
Yep.
I'm all for that. I think what gets lost in the whole situation and what NCAA is trying to enforce is the NCAA has always been about the education. I think we're to the point now. You got to realize the NCAA and Division I football are basically the farm system to the NFL.
Exactly.
But not everybody's going to make it.
No.
And I think that's where, people read into this rule, think, well, shit, we're going to have 35, 39-year-old quarterbacks. You have to cut them off. There's no sense. It's like that quarterback is like getting his 8th year of eligibility.
And that's my thing is I don't think they do a good enough job cutting them off. I mean, how many fucking ways can you get a red shirt? Like, I don't mean that bad, but I'm like, and then I don't mean this bad. If you're in your 8th year and you're not getting your doctorate in college, and you're not, I mean, I know you love the game and stuff, but if you're not doing it to go to the NFL,
go to the
no
XFL.
one's taking a fucking 29-year-old quarterback prospect.
Go to the XFL. Go to the Canadian.
At that point, it's like, don't be a selfish prick to the kids under you that that you might be taking their spot, or the kid from a small town that needs that scholarship and can earn it, and here you are fucking in your 9th year of eligibility.
Yeah.
Just eating up an opportunity that could be some, like, a young kid that could, I don't mean that bad, but, move on, man. Go get, if you're in college for 8 years and you better have the degree you need, or a double fucking master's at that point, or whatever, go get out of there.
Well, I feel the same way. Like, there comes a time where if you're gonna go that long, you better come out and be a doctor.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, Van Wilder.
All that said, you mentioned baseball earlier, and so we'll go this route. Jesus Christ, Juan Soto.
Okay, yeah,
And now look what the Yankees are doing. They're paying everybody and anybody again.
They're stacking the old guys up now. They're reminding me of the old Yankees. You got any juice left in that? I don't know. Well, come on over here. We'll see if you can.
Is that the most? I think he set the precedence of what is to come.
Oh yeah. I now am forever thankful and count my lucky stars every day since the Juan Soto deal at the Bobby Witt deal.
Yeah.
I can't. It just floors me that we got Bobby Witt for 10 years.
Was Bobby Witt snubbed
for the MVP?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone. I've had people argue with me already about it, kind of, and to me, yes, he fucking was. Like, he had nobody around him. You could pitch around him. You could not pitch around Juan Soto and Aaron Judge, because if you pitched around one, you got the other. When they were in the lineup the other way, if you pitched around the other one, you got the other one. You're talking the three top MVP candidates in the American League.
Yeah.
2 of them are on the same team and batted right behind each other, or right in front of the other one.
Yeah.
And have a short porch, mind you, a child's field that they hit out of. Now, don't get me wrong. You got they're both fucking monsters. Their on base percentage in WAR alone is can be argued. Now, you can sit here and tell me Soto's a Gold Glove outfielder, and I can sit here and tell you that that's just because everybody else in the outfield right now, where Soto's at, is not very good either.
Mm-hmm.
And you can sit here and tell me how Judge is in the outfield, and I'm going to sit here and tell you you're full of shit because he's not very good at it at all. He's huge.
Not.
And, he makes good plays, but Bobby did it with love. He was top 20 in every offensive category there was. Add stolen bases in there. He's what he literally is if you are talking the most valuable player on a baseball team in the American League,
mm-hmm.
on a playoff baseball team.
Yep.
There's nobody more valuable to their team in the American League right now than Bobby Witt is. I'm convinced if Aaron Judge gets hurt, the Yankees are still the Yankees this year.
I agree.
I think Juan Soto and what they had on that team, there was a lot of guys on that team that were hitting 25 homers and doing their thing. I truly believe the Yankees are still playoff team. Bobby Witt gets hurt, the Royals aren't fucking sniffing the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I get kind of saucy about it, and it's not because I'm biased to Bobby, because I think, I love Judge. I think Judge is awesome. I truly do, and I like Juan Soto.
Judge was overrated.
Huh?
I always thought Judge was overrated. As much so as I thought Derek Jeter was overrated. Yes, I said
Judge is good.
I would love to see what would have happened if he would have signed in San Francisco, because that park was not hitter friendly.
No, I don't think Judge is Judge in a different park.
If he would have produced the same amount of what he does in Yankee Stadium, he would have done out there, playing out there in San Francisco.
No, exactly. And I my thing there is, to me, and I can argue for Juan Soto too. When we call, you talk about Judge, and that, to me, Juan Soto has been 3 places already.
Yep.
4 places. My bad. 4 now. When he once the Mets start, that's 4. He produced as a National.
Yep.
He produced as a Padre.
Mm-hmm.
He produced as a Yankee. And you can bet your ass, sure as shit, offensively, he will produce as a Met.
26 years old.
Will the fielding stay there? Nope.
No, it'll go down.
He will be a first baseman. It is inevitable. I feel like it is going to happen at some point. It's going to have to. I just don't think he can sustain his offensive numbers while playing defense, because I just don't feel he's very good at it. Like, I mean, he's a major leaguer, but to pay him what they paid him, I mean, you look at some of the guys that are, I mean, I'm not going to say, I mean, he's 26, but I'm not going to say I'm that I couldn't settle for Harper for $250 million less.
Yeah.
And what, 3 years older? 4 years older? I mean, and not such a pain in the ass anymore?
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, Harper's kind of, Soto's kind of a fucking diva, to be true. I mean, if we're being honest, he's kind of a diva.
Very much so.
If that's the new standard, I mean, the Braves look like geniuses, because you talk about they locked up Albies, they locked up Acuna, they locked up third base dude Riley. I mean, and they've had some offseason, some injuries, but them dudes are all signed for like years for nothing compared to that dude. So it's like, I like me some Soto, but that fucking contract I sat there and I looked at it, and then of course, you know me, I had to look at it again. Then I had to go look at the stats. Then I had to be like, man, is this dude really this much more money better than, like, like I said,
well,
I don't know, man. Like, he's only 26, you're right, and like, he's never not produced. So I guess we'll see.
Well, man, I know we're going to really change it now. We have come upon a year doing the show together.
Mm-hmm.
We got to say, man, what has been some of the best that you feel we've done? What are some of the things? I know I have ideas. I would like to, maybe if we continue to do this, what route maybe we could change it up.
Mm-hmm.
What was some of the funnest conversations we've had? What are some of the ones that maybe look forward to that maybe we could try to get?
Yeah.
I will say this, if she's listening, I got one in the shotgun.
Right?
God damn it, woman.
Colbert, figure it out.
Colbert.
Yeah.
I have it sent to private. I'm more than happy to send it.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with what you said, and I don't know what the holdup is.
I'll say it. Tell Captain Coop it's fine, so we can release it. You were well behaved. You didn't say anything. Go Bats. Go Bats.
She was more embarrassed the fact of, as you said, the recon I had on her.
Yeah.
Than anything else.
That was funny. Yeah, you definitely. I know she didn't see that coming. So So it was funny. It was
Man, but
funny.
what are some of the things, man?
Man, I think obviously like the first time you had me on, I had a great time with that. I thoroughly enjoyed when we had Canuck on here. Like that just felt good. Like the three of us, we've done that before, and we don't do it enough. And like I can't remember the last time all three of us were in the same place.
Exactly.
So like,
and it's funny that it's Christmas time.
Yep.
And the memories come up on Facebook, man, and the Christmas party.
Yep.
At Just Bats and us hanging out and having a good old time, man.
Mm-hmm.
That was definitely one of my favorites.
For
one
sure.
of my favorite combos.
That was awesome.
Canuck.
I liked when we had Dut on. I think the story of Dut is one of the more interesting humans you'll ever meet. So I had a great time with that. I always like when we talk dad stuff. I just enjoy it, man. It's just fun to get out and listen to our bullshit. I love it. And and I don't even care. And the funny thing with me is I don't care if 4 people see this. Like I thoroughly enjoy. I just enjoy the chopping it up with you. But yeah, man, I think they're all my favorites. Like I don't think I've had one where I've ever been like man, this is dumb. I knew going into it. I looked when we first started to see if anybody like tuned in and watched us and listened, and I liked it. And then and then it balanced out, and then we got busy, and then it would rise and bounce, and then and it was cool. Like, but then I thought about it. I'm like, I don't fucking care, man. Like it's just good to chat and like all the stuff we get to talk about, and I know who does listen to us. Some of them, and it's funny. I like kind of chuckle at who they are, and like I know that they get a kick out of us and agree with us and disagree with us on several things. But at the end of the day, I think we give them a shot to see us. Like since we're not around much anymore, so that's kind of always a good time. But man, honest to God, in the future, we need swag. I tell you all the time, we need swag. We got to get some swag. We need.
I mean, the hats are swag.
Oh yeah, like no, well, yeah, well, no one can have our hat game. So so we need. I mean, if anybody wants to be like us, not like us, but like join our hat party, they would have to. Yeah. We would need because then they can have a hat themselves, and all of a sudden be like, man, they don't have to be jealous of how sick the hat game is anymore.
Yeah.
But like,
I will say, man, it's I think there's always been a vibe between you and I. As friends and all that stuff, and I say, the interview with Canuck was probably one of the funnest and the best. The interview with Mike Watson, since he
yep.
And the fact, because it was the fact that he did it and he doesn't do those types of things. He probably had one of the best lines that ever when I asked him about the NIL, and he said, "Man, they call me Money Mike up in here."
Yep.
He had one of the best in here, and to hear his experiences, and and how he is, I said it before, that I think it was because it was at a very just natural level. You got to meet a human being who has been through a lot, kind of physically helped with his health, and what he's battled through and what he's overcome, and just and his passion for teaching.
Yeah,
I think that's a big thing. And then I'll be honest with you, I love the interview with Tolbert. And
man, God, I hope we get to everyone to see that. I really do. Like, I wasn't going to say it was my favorite one.
I think what I hate is the fact that promoted it.
Yeah.
That I had people say, "Are you going to release that? Yeah. When's that coming out?" Like, I want to hear it.
And I didn't want to, me and Jess go back pretty good, so I didn't want to be biased and say that was my favorite one. But like, her and me hadn't got to talk like that our lives. We're just busy. So like, that's like little sister from a different mister there. So just getting her in here and watching you embarrass the shit out of her with all the stuff that you dug into, I was loving all that, and it. God, it just drives me like that was me. I'm like, man, this is one of the best ones we have, and gosh damn, Coop,
it's locked and loaded in. It's locked and loaded in the chamber.
Yeah.
So,
Jess,
man,
you need to get on Coop. Let it happen.
I'll tell you what. Even if we had to convince her to do another one,
Yeah, right. And we'll just talk about coffee. Period. Just coffee.
coffee.
We won't
Look,
even talk
coffee
about
in her
softball.
OU days.
Right?
It's
Yeah.
her Raytown high school days and her Oklahoma days.
And I can't leave out my boy Hub, man. When we had Hub on here, Hub's always a good time, man. Like
He is.
Hub's always fun. Like no matter what we're talking about, when you get some Hub perspective into it, it's just you just don't know what you're gonna get, and I love it.
Well, listen, we've had appearances from dogs. We've had appearances from kids.
Mm-hmm.
Man, before we go, Christmas 2 days away. This will air probably after it. Give me top 3. I think we did this last year.
Yep.
Christmas desserts that you're looking forward to, or what you would rank 1, 2, and 3.
Man, right now, like I'm just so growing up, my grandma and my mom and my sister all made Spritz cookies.
Oh yeah.
And my mom actually ordered some off of Etsy from a baker. So I had some Spritz cookies, but they were packaged and crunchy at the time. I like them when they're just soft. So I've been on Carly to make Santa Claus some Spritz cookies. So Spritz cookies would be my number one. I'd be lying if I didn't say that their Nana, their dad's mom, makes Oreo balls. And somehow every year some of them end up over here. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't get in there and sneak in there and steal some of them. So those would be awesome. And then, God, if I had to rank my last one, probably Snickerdoodles. I don't really have, Spritz cookies are more my Christmas cookie. But other than that, man, I'm all over the place. I'm pretty open.
Hey, always number one is my mom's fudge.
Yep.
She doesn't do it the way a lot of people make fudge. And it's just something about her fudge is just different. That's always and what's even crazy is I'm not a big chocolate guy.
Right.
So, but this fudge, I don't know what it is. Number 2 was my late stepmother's peanut butter balls.
Peanut butter,
and dipped in chocolate.
Ooh.
I don't know what she did with them, but they were magical and they tasted wonderful and all that. But the third one, man, is not really someone that someone makes family wise or anything like that. But
the Christmas trees. Yeah.
Little Debbie just brings it.
They don't play.
And these things are probably top 1 in some people's eyes. Man, this is top 3 for me.
Christmas tree, I'll tell you what, and just the Christmas tree shapes, cookies are always heat. You talk about the Reese's, Christmas tree Reese's.
Here's the thing: if someone had the nerve to call this nothing but a zebra cake, that's not true.
No,
because that's like saying the Reese's peanut butter cup is the same as the Reese's trees or the eggs.
They ain't.
They're two different things.
They ain't. It's like a Coke from McDonald's and a Coke out of a can. They just hit different.
It
ain't the same. I'll tell you what, though. I was thinking who we need to have on here with us. And you had him on before, and I watched it, and he was in his truck because, he's a big timer, and he's always busy. And I haven't listened to that son of a bitch in a long time be an ass or sarcastic with his back ass humor in a long time. I would love to have me some James Hudson.
But you know what? We forgot about one.
Who's that?
Miss Ashley Hudson.
That was all good. Hey, anytime you can chop it up about wrestling, Ashley was great.
And I forgot. I don't know why I forgot about that episode as much because she loves her some wrestling.
Yeah, it was great. She there's we're fans. Then there's Ashley. She genuinely I mean I was just like hell yes, Chicky, because she loves it. I was and I know we like it, but god dang.
I mean, hey, that was I gotta admit she was fun to interview as well. Talk to her, especially about. I mean, the time was WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Maybe next WrestleMania we have to do it again.
Hell yeah.
There's a lot going on in wrestling the world right now.
It's crazy. Crazy.
Man, tell you what. Well, brother, man, I wish you, the family, mom, everybody, the wife, the kids, a Merry Christmas, man. And all that. I hope, man, the next 2 days are joyous for you guys, man.
Same to you, man. You and everybody over there.
Not as stressful.
Oh. I'll tell you what we need. It'd be cool is if we had some tamales.
Yeah. I was going to say that too.
Oof.
I'm a little disappointed because we haven't been able to get it. But we're going to have the whole, homemade. We're going to do the whole taco thing tomorrow. So we got mom stopped by mom's house today. She had the homemade beans cooking already. Looking forward to it.
Jealous.
Looking forward to it. Well, Matt, anything else you want to add?
No, man, I look forward to more of these. You know who else I'd love to get on here if he'll come on here?
What's that?
Mr. Travis Rogers. I think he would have a lot we could talk about.
I bet you he does.
Yeah, I think he would. A lot of people probably don't know Travis. Travis kind of lays low and lives the dad life like we do, but I think he would have a lot to talk about.
I'm sure he would.
Yeah. So,
but
shout out Travis.
Everybody out there, and we're out of here.